On Saturday morning, an armed person in a planned action assassinated 3 experienced Iranian judges in front of the Supreme Court of Iran. What we are learning, their names are Hujjatul Islam Razini and Hujjatul Islam Moghise, along with another judge who was killed in the terror attack. Attacker committed by a suicide bomber immediately. In fact, he committed suicide as well after the assassination, is what we are learning. According to the preliminary investigation, the attacker neither had a criminal case at the Supreme Court of Iran nor was he a client of the court's branches. Reports suggest that one of the bodyguards were also injured in the very attack. Currently, an investigation has begun to identify and arrest other perpetrators of this terrorist act. Motive still remains to be ascertained, ladies and gentlemen, but this is what we learned. 3 judges killed by an assassin in Tehran, right outside the Supreme Court. Another judge's bodyguard has been injured. In fact, the assassin has killed himself after the attack. He has died by suicide, is what we are learning. These are the photos of the judges who, in fact, have been assassinated. Well, the verdict has been pronounced, which was much awaited for, but people do not seem happy even now in the city of Kolkata, in the state of West Bengal, and in fact, for that matter, across the country as we speak of the Arjikar rape and murder case. Why so? Well, let's take you through the details of this very story as of now. 4 p.m. 18th of January. In a major breakthrough in the Arjikar rape and murder case, the Sealdah court has pronounced verdict. Kolkata Sealdah Court has found accused Sanjay Roy guilty of rape and murder. Quantum of the punishment will be decided on January 20th when the sentence hearing is to take place. Session Court relied on the forensic reports which pointed the involvement of Roy in the incident, placing his DNA at the scene and on the person of the deceased doctor. Sessions Judge Anirban Das stated that the maximum possible sentence for Roy would be the death penalty, while the minimum possible sentence would be life imprisonment. BNS Section 64, 66, 103 by 1 have been framed against the accused. Accused Sanjay Roy reportedly shouted in the court and said that "I'm not guilty, I've been falsely implicated and the real culprits are still out at large." He further said that even one IPS is involved. Court, however, said that Sanjay Roy will get the opportunity to speak in the court on Monday. Emotions run high among the victim's family, the medical community and the public, all of whom have been deeply affected by this horrifying incident that left the nation completely shook.
देखिए, कोर्ट ने कन्विक्ट किया है, लेकिन बंगाल के बहुत सारे लोगों का ऐसा मानना था, परिवार का भी मानना था कि 1 से ज़्यादा लोग की इन्वॉल्वमेंट हो सकती है। और हम भी जो पहली बार देखे तो ऐसा ही लगा था, लेकिन 5 दिन जब कलकत्ता पुलिस के पास इन्वेस्टिगेशन रहा, उस 5 दिनों में इतने छेड़छाड़ हुए सबूतों के साथ। कोर्ट में सीबीआई की जो लॉयर थे, एडवोकेट थे, उन्होंने भी वही बात रखी, एक से ज़्यादा बार रखी, तो दर्शाता है कि अगर वो छेड़छाड़ नहीं हुआ होता तो और भी कुछ हो सकता था। हम चाहेंगे कि सबसे ज़्यादा जो पनिशमेंट है वो पनिशमेंट उनको मिले। और ये आरजीकर एक ऐसा कांड है जो पूरे बंगाल में सरफेस में ले आया कि बंगाल की स्वास्थ्य व्यवस्था कितनी बुरी हालत में है।
जो हम लोग पहले दिन से बोल रहा है जे वो आउटसाइड द आरजीकर एक पर्सन है, एक सिविक वॉलंटियर है, हाउ से एंटर द मेडिकल कॉलेज एंड डू दिस लाइक ऑफ क्राइम। एविडेंस टेम्पर हुआ है, इन्वेस्टिगेशन हासअप हुआ है, डिस्ट्रक्शन हुआ है, ये सीबीआई प्राइमरी चार्जशीट में मेंशन किया है। तो अगर ये हुआ है तो ये किसके लिए हुआ है? टू सेव संजय राय। How can we believe in this incident? We can't believe it. We believe still in this case, so many criminals and so many culprits are roaming around the environment. So please arrest all the culprits and they are, आप लोग उसके विचार का अधीन में लाइए और उस हिसाब से जो सजा होगा वो दीजिए।
देखिए, ये सिर्फ संजय राय दोषी है, ये बिल्कुल गलत है। संजय राय दोषी है ये तो दुनिया जानती है, लेकिन संजय राय के पीछे जो शक्तियां हैं वो कौन है? और वो जो सरकार ने शुरू से ही उनका समर्थन दिया, उसको अलग थलग देखकर गलत है। ये करप्ट नेक्सस के कारण ही ये हुआ है, इसलिए दोषी सरकार है और सिंपल और पूरा तंत्र के कारण इस प्रकार की घटना घट सकती है, वो दोषी है।
Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak of the developments that's taken place since today morning as well, we have had a panel of guests talking to us with regards to what their opinion is on the entire case. And from what it seems, everyone has the same question and the same opinion that it is not an act of a lone man. There are multiple culprits involved. What remains to be answered is why the investigation still hasn't taken that into account and gone into that direction. Well, joining me on the broadcast is Deepak Badana, who has been bringing us all the latest in this very matter since this morning. Deepak, we can see a crowd of people having gathered right behind you in the frame as well. What all are they chanting? We see this chanting something in unison. I'm guessing it would be the demand for justice at this given point, despite Sanjay Roy having been pronounced guilty. While questions have been raised, there are several of them at this given point, with the CFSL reports also hinting that there was the DNA of not one person. Again, forensics and the DNA report has confirmed that yes, Sanjay Roy was definitely there at the site of the crime site on that very night. But it has also implicated that yes, there were multiple other human beings who were there at the crime site. Well, who were they? What were they doing there? These are questions that still need to be answered. An investigation that still remains to be taken place by the CBI as well at this given point. Well, Deepak, I think, has been patched again with us. Deepak, if you can hear us, yes, please continue as you were speaking about what all is happening on the ground there.
Shreya, what you see here is, the dissatisfaction amongst the people of Kolkata with the judgment today. These people are angry at what they call a mockery of justice. Their faith. We spoke to a number of these activists. A lot of them are students, they are family people, they are working professionals who've all taken their time out to come here to the court and see what happens. If you hear them, they feel betrayed. For them, a lot of questions that they wanted answered have so far been ignored by the law and order process and by the Honorable Court. We spoke to at least 10 different people, and all of them were unanimous in saying that, Roy may be a culprit, but he wasn't the only one. As you can hear, these people want justice.
Well, definitely. There still seems to be a lot of discrepancies in the investigation, lapses in the investigation, which even has been, hinted at by the panel of guests who have joined us previously during the shows that we've been doing on this RG Kaur case itself. But, right now, what we hear is that Sanjay Roy will be given a chance to speak in the court of law on Monday when his sentence hearing does take place. Take us through some of the details that you've learned about the court proceedings that took place today with regards to the case and all that unfolded there in the Sealdah court.
So ever since morning, there was frenzied activity around this whole premises. People from all walks of life, from every part of India, and indeed most news channels from across the world came here to see how India deals with, such a horrific and tragic case. What we learned after the judgment was pronounced, that 3 sections have been applied. Charges have been framed under section 64, 65, 66 and 103/1 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. But as you hear from these people, when you speak to them, they are absolutely angry that, there was no discussion of the motives. The court seems to have glossed over what led, the series of incidents that led Sanjay Roy to enter the hospital, the seminar room. The court seems to have glossed over the irregularities in the 2 forensic reports. There seems to be no conversation around, the alleged corruption that was taking place with regard to expired saline bottles. The people here are absolutely livid at that. And you must understand that these are the very same people. Were it not for them, this case would have been hushed up. with, as you saw, that the body was cremated in a hurry. There was a great, inordinate sense of urgency to just dispose of and hush up the case. It was these very people who forced the government, in a way, to relook at this case. Now they vow that they will see the process to its very logical end.
Absolutely, Deepak, thank you so much for bringing us all those details from the morning itself outside the Sealdah court at Arjikor Medical College and Hospital itself. We will keep coming back to you through the day to understand this in greater depth. What are people's reactions now that the verdict has been pronounced? What do the people in Kolkata at this given point have to say? Well, from what has been seen so far, they do feel betrayed with the court's verdict at this given point. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're now shifting to another story that has taken center stage in the national domain itself. The manhunt to arrest the intruder who attacked actor Saif Ali Khan in his Bandra residence 3 days ago is still underway. Now, new details have emerged about the movements of the man who attacked actor Saif Ali Khan. Sources have revealed a clear trail that shows how the accused reportedly managed to flee the city after the incident. After carrying out the attack, the accused, still wearing the same blue clothes, was spotted boarding a train from Bandra to Dadar. At Dadar, he visited a mobile shop and purchased a pair of headphones for just 55 rupees. After making the purchase, the accused boarded a long-distance train from Dadar and fled towards Gujarat. Sources indicate that his last known location was in Palghar, a major railway station between Mumbai and Surat. Let's quickly take a look at this interaction that my colleague had with this very shopkeeper whose CCTV footage we bring to you, where this accused in fact made a stop while he was on the run. Let's quickly take a look. Well, we will bring that interaction to you. We had in fact brought that interaction to you earlier as well. Right now, these are the details that we in fact have so far. The delay in the nabbing of the attacker has raised serious questions on the Bandra police. Glaring lapses in action by the Bandra police had allowed the attacker to escape. The delay in their response has raised serious concerns about the handling of the case. Sources in fact confirmed that the Bandra police received information about the incident at approximately 2 a.m. However, it was not until over 4 hours later, around 6 a.m., that they alerted nearby police stations and other security agencies. This delay, ladies and gentlemen, in response not only stalled the launch of a coordinated search operation but also gave the attacker a window of more than 3 hours to escape. The inaction has left many questioning why immediate action wasn't prioritized to intensify the search. Mumbai police has recorded the statements of over 30 people, including Kareena Kapoor, and will record Saif's statement soon. Cops have formed 30 teams along with 10 teams from the crime branch to investigate the case. CCTV footage from the Bandra area has been seized, and at least 2 more suspects and security team are reportedly being questioned. New photo of the suspect has also surfaced, showing him changing his clothes in an attempt to disguise his identity. In fact, from what we learn, there are 3 photos, 3 different types of attires that we see of this very man. One in a blue shirt, one in a yellow shirt, and one in a white shirt. The photo, which was captured by the surveillance cameras near the scene of the incident, shows the suspect quickly altering his outfit, a move that seems to be aimed at evading identification. Saif Ali Khan has sustained serious injuries after he was stabbed 6 times by an intruder at his residence in Mumbai's Bandra area in the early hours of Thursday. The incident took place when the accused allegedly entered Mr. Khan's house on the 11th floor of the Satguru Sharan building for a burglary attempt. Left bleeding after the attack, Saif Ali Khan was rushed to a nearby hospital, the Leelavati hospital, that is, where he underwent surgery and is now recovering well. Now, as the police get more CCTV footages, a person was seen wrecking the residence of Shah Rukh Khan, who just lives in that very neighborhood as well. This, in fact, raises questions, ladies and gentlemen, about whether Bollywood stars are soft targets indeed. New CCTV footage, this in fact the one on your screens right now. This clip from January 14th shows the man carrying a backpack and his face being covered in a white cloth. Mumbai police suspect that the intruder who stabbed Saif Ali Khan also conducted a recce of Shah Rukh Khan's residence. A police team visited Shah Rukh Khan's residence, Manhunt, to further investigate the matter. Earlier last year, there was a shooting incident at actor Salman Khan's residence, after which security has been tightened around the residence of the actor, with bulletproof glasses having been installed, as can be seen on the left side of your screens, the blue screen that has been in fact installed at Salman Khan's residence now. With that, ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to the international arena. This is with regards to the neighboring nation. In a shocking and significant development, former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has made some alarming allegations regarding an assassination attempt against her and her sister Sheikh Rihana, following her ousting amid the widespread protests in August 2024. In an audio message that has been shared by the Awami League, Hasina recounted the harrowing experience, stating, "Rihana and I managed to survive. We barely escaped the clutches of death within a span of 20 to 25 minutes. She has further compared the situation with her escape back in 2004 grenade attack as well. Let's listen into this audio message from the former Bangladeshi Prime Minister, where she can be heard choking up as she recounts these very harrowing experiences.
আমি আর এখানে যে বেঁচে গেলাম বোধহয় মাত্র 20-25 মিনিটের একটা ব্যবধানে আমরা মৃত্যুর হাত থেকে রক্ষা পেয়েছি। আমার শুধু এটাই মনে হয় যে 21 আগস্টের হত্যাকাণ্ডের থেকে বেঁচে যাওয়া বা কোটিরপাড়া ওই বিশাল বোমের হাত থেকে বেঁচে যাওয়া, আবার এই 5ই আগস্ট এই বেঁচে যাওয়ার পিছনে নিশ্চয়ই আল্লাহর কোনো একটা ইচ্ছা আছে, আল্লাহর কোনো হাত আছে। নইলে এবারে তো বেঁচে যাওয়ার কথা না। তারা যেভাবে প্ল্যান করেছিল আমাকে হত্যা করার, সেটা আপনারা পরবর্তীতে দেখেছেন। তবুও এটা বোধহয় আল্লাহরই একটা রহমত, জানি না আল্লাহ আমাকে দিয়ে আরো কিছু কাজ করাতে চান বলেই বোধহয় আমি এখনো বেঁচে আছি। যদিও আমার কষ্ট হচ্ছে, আমি আমার দেশ ছাড়া, ঘর ছাড়া সবকিছু জ্বালিয়ে পড়ে দিয়েছে। আমি আর এখানে যে বেঁচে গেলাম বোধহয় মাত্র
That is the audio message, ladies and gentlemen, that's been released by the Awami League as Bangladesh's interim government seeks Sheikh Hasina's extradition from India, where she fled after resigning. Hasina faces multiple arrest warrants related to alleged human rights violation during her tenure. Moving on, the Bharat Mobility Global Expo, the Auto Expo 2025, is happening across 3 venues in India. Each venue has been dedicated to specific categories of products. Show will be happening from the 17th of January through the 22nd of January. The Bharat Mandapam at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi is the main venue. Visitors here can see all the latest cars from Tata Motors, Maruti, Hyundai, Skoda, as well as global car makers from Vietnam, China and Europe. And bikes and scooters, EVs, are also being showcased at this very venue. In addition to this, the Tyre Show, Battery Show, Mobility Tech, Steel Innovation and the India Cycle Show are all being held here. The Yashobhumi Convention Centre in Dwarka will exclusively host the Auto Expo Components Show from January 18th to the 21st of January. India Expo Centre and Mart in Greater Noida will feature the Bharat Construction Equipment Expo and the Urban Mobility and Infrastructure Show, which will take place from January 19th to, in fact, 22nd of January. This is the particular news that we bring to you. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, you know what makes this expo extremely crucial, not just for the tech industry or the automobile industry of our country, but also geopolitically speaking, because we see a geopolitical thaw that's taken place. 5-year hiatus is what we see coming to an end in this very expo as China comes in and joins in, and there are permissions for that have been special permissions that have been granted to them for the display of their companies and the cars of their automobiles of their companies as well. This is a big step that we see, especially right after the disengagement at the LAC. It's a rather important geopolitical matter as well that we are speaking of, but otherwise we see several global companies as well, as we were just mentioning, from Vietnam, from different parts of Europe, which are taking part in this very expo. In fact, joining me on the broadcast is Krishna Kumar, who has been covering this event since Day one of it, that was yesterday at Bharat Mandapam. Krishna, a very good evening to you. You know, it's a big event that's taking place, the Bharat Expo 2025. Take us through the excitement at the ground, all the new, you know, features or cars, that the automobiles that are being displayed at this very expo. What are some of the highlights that are coming in from there?
Right, I'm here at the Mercedes enclosure of the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, and behind me is the brand new G-Class variant, the G580, that has been unveiled at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025. This has some incredible capabilities. This car can rotate 360 degrees using the G-turn capability in one spot. All of those fancy features that came with the G-Class this time around in an all-electric avatar. One of the big launches for Mercedes. Bear in mind, Mercedes has launched 6 different cars at this Bharat Mobility Global Expo. If that was the G-Class variant, right behind me is the Mercedes Maybach GLS Night Series that's behind me. Another car that many car connoisseurs would be, you know, ogling at right through the Bharat Mobility Global Expo, but also many wanting to get their hands on it, wanting to buy it. This is the Mercedes G-Class Night Series, Mercedes Maybach GLS Night Series, beg your pardon. So in those 6 launches of Mercedes, you have the sub-brands of Mercedes like Maybach and AMG as well as part of the launches. So 6 launches for Mercedes. And quickly, if I can ask my camera person to take the camera away from the Maybach GLS Night Series to the other enclosure that's right in front of the Mercedes enclosure, and that is the Hyundai pavilion. Hyundai launching the much-awaited Creta Electric that's right behind me. If I can just ask my camera person to come with me. There you go. This is the brand new Creta Electric, a car that was a blockbuster success for Hyundai, now in an all-electric avatar, keeping in tune with the larger theme of Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025. It's all about electric. Every car company worth its salt, unveiling as many electric versions of their best-selling models as possible. So that's the big headline coming out of here, apart from the fact that you have Chinese car makers coming back to India's flagship biennial Auto Expo after a gap of 5 years, and Vietnamese car makers, electric vehicle car maker VinFast making its debut here today, in fact unveiling 2 cars from the VinFast stable as well. So these are some of the big highlights as far as the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 is concerned. Back to you in the studio.
Absolutely, Krishna. Indeed, it looks quite exciting at this point. And you know, you were also mentioning, I'll just take a short response from you because we're running out of time at this point. EVs have become quite important, a crucial theme at this Bharat Expo, wouldn't you say? If you could just take us through some highlights on that particular topic as well.
It was the biggest takeaway as far as this Auto Expo is concerned. Bear in mind, this is Bharat Mobility Global Expo, which means that Auto Expo is the one big part of it. There is also the Auto Component Makers Expo that is taking place in Yashobhoomi in Dwarka in Delhi, and then the Construction Equipment Makers Expo that is taking place in the Noida Expo Center in Mart in Greater Noida. Put together is the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025. As far as the Auto Expo is concerned, the flagship Auto Expo is concerned, that's taking place over here at the Bharat Mandapam, the erstwhile Pragati Maidan. It's back, in fact, to the same location after 10 years, the Auto Expo. It used to be held, the last few were held at the in Noida Expo Center in Mart in Greater Noida. It's back here after a gap of over 10 years. Right here at the Bharat Mandapam at the Auto Expo, it's all about all electric, and correspondingly today, in fact 18th is when the Component Expo in Yashobhoomi in Dwarka is also getting underway. The Auto Expo got underway yesterday. Today from the 18th is when the Auto Parts Expo is getting underway. All of them lasting till the 22nd of January. And the clear headline from here is the fact that every company, what are the biggest launches over here? First launch at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo was Maruti Suzuki unveiling its first ever electric vehicle, the e-Vitara, which is the electric version of the best-selling Grand Vitara. That was the first big launch of the Auto Expo. That was quickly followed up by Hyundai launching its Creta Electric as well. And across the board, you see all companies. Tata Motors unveiling the electric version of their best-selling SUV Harrier. So you have the E-Harrier, now the electric version, Tata Harrier EV now available. So every India's biggest car makers and also your luxury car makers, Mercedes and BMW and Porsche, all unveiling their latest electric variants. So that's clearly the big overwhelming headline from here.
Absolutely, a big spectacle at Bharat Mandapam at this given point at the Auto Expo 2025 that is currently underway in 3 destinations. Thank you so much, Krishna, for bringing us all the updates from there. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've completely run out of time in this very bulletin. And we will, in fact, be closing this. And thank you for joining us. But news and updates do keep continuing here at News 9, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. This is Riya Kundu.